Frank, hold it steady. I'm gonna put the star on the top of the tree.
Hold on, let me plug it in first.
Whoa! Watch the food, will you, Frank? I got an EDGEFINDER alert I want to look at.
I got you.
The food, Frank, not the charts.
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure thing. You didn't leave the keys in the spaceship, did you?
Yeah, I did. Why?
I think someone just stole it.
Oh, gosh. You know what? Whatever. That was kind of a last month thing anyways.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift you know that you've been wanting. A funded trading account with FX2. FX2 allows you to earn real profits on a simulated account up to $200,000. To start, select any of their one-step evaluations. We know things can get pretty hectic during the holidays, but you can take your time with the evaluations because there's no time limit to complete them. And with FX2, once you pass, they'll even refund your evaluation fee during your first withdrawal. You can collect up to 85% of the profits that you gain on your account. You can buy a whole lot of presents with that kind of money. Get funded with FX2 today and find the most wonderful trades of the year.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to today's show. I'm here with Eivindfx. Ivan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
It's not often we talk on camera, so this is kind of cool.
I've seen you a couple times.
Yeah. I just wanted to let everybody know Nick is on a flight home from New York. He went to Wall Street last weekend, which is kind of cool. Got some insider tips. No, I'm kidding.
Bougie.
Yeah, we'll see him later, probably today in the office, but he won't make it for today's show. So Ivan was cool enough to come on and take over for a bit. And I'll be dropping his link in the chat throughout the show. So make sure to go subscribe to him. And also, this will be kind of like a little, I don't know, sort of a preview as to how Ivan does his webinars on our Discord. Sort of, I would imagine. So if you kind of like what you see, maybe consider it, because he runs his own private lessons and things in there. So, Ivan, I'm going to give you the floor. You can go for as long as you'd like, and I'll be back here ready to close you out.
Yeah, don't forget me though.
No, I won't forget you. All right, Ivan, have a good show.
Very much. Thank you. So everyone, my name is Nick, the Nick 2. And of course, we're gonna have some fun. Waiting for your next trade from them to you. Yeah, I'm waiting too. So maybe we should go through something and see if we can find something. I just want to point out the heat map where Euro yen, Swiss yen, Aussie yen, New Zealand yen, CAD yen are the best performers. Of course, dollar SAR is an emerging market asset and minor, but and way more volatile and needs more money to be trading that one. But the yen pairs are our best performers, and I want that to be dollar today. But we will go through that, and then Vincent says Ivan is the best. we shall see by the end of it. So we have a small poll here. Okay, number one, number two. Number one question is, or question number one with two alternatives is, number one, should I do what I normally do in the VIP webinars? Is that Ivan you want? Because that's different from YouTube Ivan. YouTube Ivan is so sweet and short, but in the mentorship in the Discord, do you want that Ivan? Or do you want the normal Ivan that you see normal on YouTube? Tell me in chat, and then we will go from there. So number one today is, of course, we need to look at dollar. And if you look at dollar on the daily, you see that, well, we have risen to 107. We have come a bit down. And 15th of November was the changing point. And I said that then, and I will say it again. That was the changing point. And now we had the Fed coming out last week. And I'm going to say this until you become bored of it. Okay, where's Nick on an airplane? Sir. Rawlings. Come on, let that mentor Evan get out of the cage. Let's go. Merry Christmas, Jamie. Merry Christmas. I love you for being here every single time. So where is money flow going? That is the question you have to ask yourself every single time. That should be the top of your trading plan. The first question is, where is price going to go? What is the major factors of why would something move somewhere? That is not technical analysis. And me and Nick and some of us in this group are like, we need fundamentals first. What drives price? Well, the economy. Because what are we actually doing? We're trading economies against economies and strengths and weaknesses in comparison. So dollars now currently falling. And I said in the mentorship group today, I said we are probably on the euro dollar, if I am right, about CPI falling, we're going to hit 118, 119. Okay, wild guess. I might never be right. But if you set yourself up for longer term trades and think, what are we going to do? If we imagine Christmas Eve as much as you imagine the turkey, as much as you like for the meat, you imagine forex going in your direction. And what situation do you want to be in? Dollars currently falling, dovish Fed, falling CPI. You have everything that you need. There is no need in my book to say to you, okay, should you be dollar bullish? Okay, you can be dollar bullish. That's totally fine. But I just don't agree with you at this point. Short term wise, you might be right, but longer term wise, who will be right? The market will decide. So you set yourself up for a certain direction, and then you say to yourself, what market do I want to see? What kind of indicators? And then we have CPI, we have GDP, we have all these indicators, all these economic indicators throughout the week that comes out and says this is the current heat or the coldness of the market. That is what we trail. Straightforwardness. Now there was a question this morning that says, but Evan, there is an issue. There's an issue in the Gulf of Aden. There is boats being, sorry to say this, striking by something, objects, hitting oil tankers. Is that an issue we need to discuss? Yes, absolutely. That is a risk event. And we can see oil now going to 73.14. That is the money flow you should be thinking about every single day. Where's price going to go today? What is driving the market? Currently, risk event where they are hitting oil tankers, going through Suez Canal in the end, but a Bay of Aden, between Yemen and Djibouti and Eritrea, going in through there. What is the alternative? To go through Africa. And Africa is 2 weeks extra. So that means delayed goods and services to Europe. Is that a factor we need to take into consideration? Yes, because that literally makes financial dent into people are supposed to sell something, they would sell less, and then people will not buy more because they will probably get it in another 2 weeks later. They don't have time for that. So then ship freight will then go lower because you need the services and goods for Christmas. At least a bit late there, but you get the deal, right? So it's a risk event, and they have also threatened Saudi Arabia if they do something about it, and they will hit their oil lines. So if you see any news about oil being hit, there you go. Hello, Evans. DXY is taking a breath. Yes, absolutely. And also oil is taking, a bit of a, But I just want to normalize this and say this happens every year. There's always a New Year's event going on. So does that affect the euro dollar? Not entirely, right? So what I normally say to you in the group, which now apparently is going to come out because everyone wants me to come out as the beast we are in the group, and we say, where's your trading plan? What is the reason for your trading plan? What's the reason for your direction? What is the opportunities that you're currently seeing in trading, and what is the dangers? So if you see euro dollar on the daily, if you see euro dollar on the 4 hour, you see a range, and now you see a bullish trend. And if you go into the 1 hour, you see, okay, we've actually hit some kind of demand. Is that the best price? No, not really. The best prices come back all the way down to 108.20. But you think to yourself, how is that possible? That is 100% pullback. I don't like that. So what happened last week? We hit weekly target. Okay. All right. We hit 110. All right. Will people exit their trades? Yes. People exited the trade because we can see it falling quite literally. But who will buy at a better price? 109 sounds like a good idea. And why do I say this? Because it costs millions of dollars being buy too high. That's why you get pullbacks. That's why you take profit. That's why you buy at a better price. Is this reversal a reversal we would like to have? Yes, it is slightly how I want it. I probably want a bit of a more high coming back down tomorrow. London Open, not necessarily price, but coming back down to support is my scalping idea. And then for the overall, I think that maybe 108, 20 or so, a much deeper pullback is probably appropriate going forward. Hi, Nick. Hi, Andreas. You look a bit different today. I do. I have changed my hair. I have not taken my beard. Yeah, I did do a haircut, and thank you very much for pointing out. You're the first one. It's a gold medal to you, Andreas. Boom to you. Patricia is on an airplane. There is news of a coalition being made to secure that path, and it has to happen. It has to be secured. The path of Aden going through Suez Canal, it has to be fought the same way it's being fought, because that's the only way you're going to open that path again. If not, it's going to disrupt the flow of goods, and we don't want that. And especially oil, it's not so nice. But oil price is 68, so it doesn't hurt that it goes a bit higher. That's being said. Euro dollar to the upside. It is high. It has a high pullback. I don't know if this pullback is going to be the one that I will stick to. Sorry, if the market will stick to, I will probably try and trade it. But then we have another one. Australian dollar, US dollar. Another fantastic bullish trend, but we are high. Do you then sit down and say, hey, what do we do? Do we then go and look at maybe the EDGEFINDER can tell us something? Maybe the carry trade can tell us something. And who is top there? New Zealand yen, dollar yen. I would now I think that would change soon. British pound will change soon. Euro yen will change soon. But they're still there. And why are they there? Because you're currently being paid the most amount of money to buy the New Zealand yen in interest rate differentials. That is the current move. And we might get there on the Australian dollar, US dollar. Might not be the best differential, but just look out for. I have not seen Australia rate cutting anytime soon. I have heard them peaking lately. They also increased this fall. So they might change very quickly, but currently it is not too bad. Looking for this one to go higher. Hi, Ivan. The 2-year yield is also pulling back to 4.5%. Does that mean dollar might also pull back higher retracement as well? Not necessarily. Okay. You have to have a bit of a mind here. Okay. So when you're thinking of, you're thinking of bonds, you're thinking of the stock market, and then you're thinking of what is the last one? indices, stock market, and then in this case, dollar. It depends who is driving, who is buying and selling bonds. If it's international, yes, that does have an impact on the dollar. Lower or higher yields on the bonds only speaks for the bonds, but it also speaks a bit about the risk sentiment currently. If we are very afraid, if we are very optimistic, but that also spills into the stock market. The stock market in itself is not directly correlated to the dollar because there's a lot of domestic demand or supply to, to the stock market and the indices. So yes, you can say that dollar will move, but it doesn't speak for the entirety. It doesn't speak for enough volume that currently is going to move the dollar in particular. So, but have that mind open. Have that mind open of what drives the dollar, what drives the yield, and what drives yields is outlook for inflation and outlook for interest rates. And dollar is a bit of a different thing. It's a bit of more economics. It's a bit more risk sentiments. A bit more. It's a bit more money flow. Dollar is moved both by influx of demand for bonds and also for the stock market. So it's not entirety dollar goes higher if yields goes higher. Any thoughts about Japanese yen? What do you think about JPY? If Japan starts rising their interest rates, will Nikkei dump, or is it more correlated to the other big indices, Vincent? And I think that's a good question, and I want to tell you guys that just because we have now a peak or a bottom in interest rates in Japan, how is that going to move the stock market? It should actually correct a bit, yeah, because we are ending a monetary policy era for 30 years. But also the government is also owns most of those stocks. So to a degree, yes, I can agree with you that bonds are stock market in Japan is at risk of having a correction. How deep and how strong, I'm not too sure. Because there's also the reason why inflation would rise is because there is demand for goods and services, which should at least be elevated. So probably a correction there. Are you going to dump it? Probably not the worst I would use. Probably take profit on the buys that is out there, and then see if there is a better price on the certain stocks or certain indices. Sorry, Nikkei, at a lower price. It's more of a tactical move because if you look at what the dollar has done in the same time, which is S&P 500 or Nasdaq for that matter, if you go back to where we started to increase interest rates, which is back in okay, so they ended they started talking about ending the monetary policy. It was June 21. Stock market continued to rise. We literally started to increase interest rates in March 22, and that has seen the stock market falling a bit of 25%, 24%. But now we're back up there and even almost making a new higher high now. So yes, it might short term make a bit of a pullback, but if there's still demand in the economy, if the economy doesn't collapse because of higher interest rates, you still have an upside to look at. All right, cool, good. And the reason why I don't talk about yen pairs today is because seasonality, we are out of randomness. It might go higher, but it's not guaranteed per se. It's not. I don't have statistical advantage. I don't have an edge. I don't have an alpha in this market this time of year. That's why I'm like, well, can we talk about something else, people? And an edge that I do have is dollar weakness during this time of year. And if you look at into pound, that was requested by Samyanga, and pound is a bit of a weird one because we had a quite bullish Bank of England. We rose, we hit targets, and then now we are falling. And how are you going to play this is kind of a difficult question. I want a range, a new higher high, and then something like this. Now we can go down to 106, 126, and then just shoot up. Now that's not a part of what I trade. I don't like those markets because I was not in there. Secondly, you are supposed to find, where do you find profitability? Generally speaking, in your trading, more like 70 to 80% of your trades should be in certain markets and in certain situations. And when I see this, I see a falling knife. I see money leaving my account. If Malik, there is people out there that wants to do gold, do the gold trade for me, tell me, give a shout out to the gold, and we shall do gold. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I just want to point out of where you enter, where you don't, and where you're like, well, I don't think that's a great idea. But what if this changes? I might consider. So I'm looking for the dollar. I'm looking for this one to go higher. I'm looking for the pullback. I'm as eager as you. I am just, thinking about maybe not right now. Hi, anybody. So my thoughts on the British pound dollar. I think that we are going to rise in the end. I am short term very like, hey, chill, mate. We might do another day, mate. Going maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. I need to see a higher high. I need to see pullbacks. I can't just do random. What about a euro dollar? I think that's a much better idea. I see that you guys are like, oh, we should do certain trades, but think of, if I'm going to tell you one trade that you are going to do, you're done euro dollar, you took it from the bottom, from the beginning of the monetary policy change, from when dollar became weak until the end, and you say that, look at me, Eivind, I did that. You are going to get a star. You're going to get the star in the roof. I mean, I'm going to pinpoint that name. I'm going to say, hey, look at you. Because those who, I am not one of those, by the way, those who bought S&P 500 at the bottom, including Nick, including Suma, including other people, great. Fantastic. And still sitting in it requires that patience that you are supposed to have as a trader. The foresight of you have to have as a trader. Because Nick says, oh, seasonality is supposed to be bullish in December. That was not his voice, though. That's more British one. Okay. But that's, where's your foresight? Where is your forward thinking? And I see in this group, right, that we lack that. Maybe we haven't experienced it. Maybe we can now go in the parade and say, Nick did it for us. Nick showed us the way. Nick did his monster trade. Fantastic. Use that as the experience. Use that as the motivation. Use that foresight. And use that determination to find the next one. And you might ask yourself, Eivind, where's the next one? I don't know. Maybe it's in dollar bearishness. Maybe it's gold bullishness. And Malik, you didn't get the gold train, so I didn't see anything in the gold train. So I'm waiting for the gold train. If you guys want to do gold, we can do gold. That's totally fine. But we need some comments that people want to do gold. So my plan, as of now, Australian dollar, very high. I don't like it. I have FOMO through the roof. Garrick says finding bottoms and finding tops is overrated. I agree with you. I just want to find a trend. I just want to see where we go from here. I just want to see euro dollar, Australian dollar, pound dollar, New Zealand dollar rise 1,000 of pips within the next 3 months or so. I just want that to happen. And I don't really care about my entry if it is at 0.660 or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. If it's 67 or 66, If we are going to go to 70, yes, it does matter a bit, but I will be happy as a bird. So, since the gold train is here, I'll tell you what I think. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the demand zone that I see. If we come back down there, great. I see continuation higher because of the fundamentals, because of the current supply and demand, because of seasonality, because of all those other reasons. I see this as a pullback. Okay. Now, that needs a new higher high, needs to come up here, come back down, reject that low, and then go higher. That would be my entry level. Or setup. That's the same thing I'm looking at euro at the moment. It's the same thing I'm looking at on pound dollar at the moment, and it's the same thing I'm going to look at on pound dollar. So, who of you can say with the hand on your heart that you have planned for January and February next year? I have said previously that end of the year is 13th of December. The FOMC meeting is when volatility dies out. There's still volatility in the market. There's probably still a 300 till the end of the year. But sharpen your FOMO, sharpen your excitement. The one who is able to seize his excitement for trading is the one that will improve its trading. What do I mean by that? Excitement and anxiousness is the number one reason that I see is the reason why people fail. Because they cannot see that there is a different side. That trading gold should be a remarkable thing to buy and goes only higher. It probably does that at times. But then there's all those other months of the year it doesn't. What are you going to do then? And there is time of the year where it continues to do certain things, certain levels, certain what? I want to buy 1800, not really 2024. I don't want to buy 2100. I want to buy 1900. Or much lower prices. I want to see deeper pullbacks from gold. We can sit here and fight about short-term volatility and say we're going to go higher, which is probably going to be true by the end of it. But if we land 2100 in February, I'll leave. Australian dollar against the dollar, probably Vincent. Garrick says, "I'm planning to take your money. Do you need my bank account number? I'll give it to you. How much do you want?" Venus says, "It is really hard." It is really hard. Or it's really hard to just say it's just a pullback or a correction. Okay, let me take a different approach. So I don't get called out for being rude or anything. First of all, this is mentorship coming into, okay? I don't really want to. I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose money. I wanted to win. My approach to that, to tell you the truth. But there's a lot of things I don't tell you. I don't tell you that what we're currently looking at is a 50-50 setup. If price comes down here, we're probably more 70-30. Trading gold is the same as going to the casino. Why is it so? It is rigged. Why is gold rigged? What makes gold rigged? It feels rigged and probably is rigged because there's banks out there that is being fined for manipulating precious metals. So you're right. It is a rigged market. It isn't easy. It's not just, oh, let's do a pullback here and there we go. Then you don't see that I have been trading this for so long time that I know where I should be at what given time. It's not like easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then, if I say you should probably consider buying here, well, now it's too late. And you should probably consider 108.20. It's because when I look at the market and I think what should happen next, I think of in anecdotes of where is the best value for my money, and we still have integrity in the trend. Okay, so if you look at these reversals of trend and you think price never came there, it never went up there, it just fell. How do you know price should get there? And that's where you should trade. Why don't you trade here? That was the best price, wasn't it? But the time is, it does come up here. Those are the trades that I live for. I don't care about trades that is mediocre. I don't care about, let's say, that pullback, that pullback. Yes, it's a bottom. Yes, it is what it is. But if I can get that entry, I would run to the bank. I'll go with Garrick and say, hey, Garrick, do you want to share my money? We made banks. And that's how you need to program your brain. Not that what your current programming is wrong, not that your current thinking is wrong, but you need to develop into where is the best price. That is a different answer for different situations and for different systems. But for me, it is there. And if I go back to my failed yen pairs that I trade, and I will do that every single year going forward, it is not going to stop me. That bottom there, I am going to buy every single time going forward. That was my ultimate trade. And I had entries here. I had entries here. I had entries here. But because I was chasing it, and I was also thinking, what about in September? What about in October? What about in November? If we come back down again and we only came back once, back to that level that I see as that is the level, if we are going to be bullish, is going to hold. And it held through monetary policy change, where Bank of Japan said, we are no longer going to support our yield at certain level. We're going to increase the level, so we will support it less. It survived that. That's the level that I'm going to go with. That's the one that's the friend that I'm going to trust. And this isn't a trade that I thought about, well, what do you think could happen out of it? That's random. That's what I do every year. I failed this year because I got scared, because I was running to hospital with a newborn. Going to get a newborn, sorry. So I just closed my trades at 7th of September, dead. I didn't look at the charts. It's like, I can't trade for the next month because I can't look at it. And I was wrong for that. For closing my trades using emotions, because I didn't follow my system. My system says, Hold. Doesn't matter what happens. Hold until stop loss. Jesus says, you said in a video that your goal in trading is increasing your account. That is why you traded it that way. I can't remember saying that, but yeah, that's okay. I think a lot of people in a hurry to be in a trade rather than giving themselves the best option. I can agree to that, but you know, let's change this up a bit, okay? I am the sole defender of one trade a year if that is what's going to make your year. I am the sole defender of if you take 2 trades a month, that is going to be the best option that you have. I'm going to be the sole defender of the trade that you take once in a season, once from January to June, and you can sit on your boom boom and you can play video games from January to June as long as you enter a trade 1st of January, as long as you exit the 1st of June, you're right. If I can take that trade, I will do that every single year. If I can make this trading as lazy as possible, you're gonna find me in the first row in that class, and I'm gonna teach that class probably as well after some time, because I am going to be. I don't want to sit the charts all the time. I tell my students 10 minutes a day for charting, 10 minutes a day. Look at the chart, all your pairs, 10 minutes only, and it'd be boom, 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 boom. Check, 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 done, 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 done. If there is a trade setup that you can look at, okay, cool, we'll look at it. But why am I back at January? Why am I back in the October, September prices? Why am I not seeing yen? Why am I looking at euro dollar? I've seen a request for euro Aussie earlier. The reason for why I don't euro Aussie because they are in current same fundamental direction. It makes total no sense for me to pull in that direction, then pull in that direction, hope that I'm going to make money because I need price to move somewhere in some direction. And even if it moves 1,000 pips, I'm still going to consider it because it does not make sense for me that fundamentally something that is supposed to go the same direction all of a sudden goes the opposite. And if I'm going to make a trade, I'm going to take a Lada against a Ferrari, and I'm going to drive that Ferrari as fast as I can. I'm going to drag that Lada off the cliff. I am going to be the most powerful one on the other side. I don't care who was on the other side. I just need something strong against weak. That's the power of trading. That's the reason why something is moving. It's not because they have the same strength and same weakness. It's because they have opposite weakness and opposite strength. Now, I would say to you that my approach might not be for everyone. And the reason why I don't do crosses is because your probability is different. Your setup are the same, but your profitabilities are different. Your profitability and probabilities are different. There is times of a year, maybe once a year, I would trade pound Aussie. It is in October. It's no other time of the year. Because it is too much range. Secondly, I, as a trader 10 years ago, would scroll through every single pair that was moving, and I was losing more trade setup because I was so confused as to what to look for. There is a teaching in it. Why I don't talk crosses? I can talk crosses, I can teach crosses, but doesn't mean that is going to help, because what I'm trying to make you guys do is one currency, one direction, one setup. Make it as simple as possible. And if that doesn't work out, okay, cool, whatever then. Because we have too many options. We have too much in our head. We have too much confusing talking points and talking heads like me and Nick and whatever. Me and Nick are, generally speaking, saying the same language. But what you need to do as a trader is finding the best setup with the best probability, with the best profitability. And that doesn't come easy. That doesn't come straightforward. And if I can tell you do one currency pair, one currency, not currency pair, one currency, which is dollar or yen or euro, whatever, then look for profitability. You know, there's traders out there that trades in banks, only sells euro dollar. Only on a 5-minute chart, only on the hourly chart. They don't talk to anyone that buys euro dollar. They are in a different city. One job, sell euro dollar. One job, buy euro dollar. Every single day. That's all. In your opinion, what is the best way to trail stop loss? I don't trail stop loss. Mostly because I suck at it. I'm horrible at trailing. Nick is much better. And if I were to say in my uneducated opinion, it's the last higher low that you use as your stop loss level. What tends to happen is that if I trail, for example, in this situation, I don't take profit here, but I trail, I would probably be stopped out here, and I'll probably have lost 50% of my profit. Because when I trail, I focus on the trail instead of take profit, and instead of maximizing my profit, I focusing on minimizing my losses, which is a bit off of what I want to do. Yeah, I don't trade. I don't trade on 5 minutes now. Thank you, Temong. Not only do you need higher discipline to wait for your setup, but it needs to be crystal clear what your setup is. And you hear me babbling now, by the way, but I'm not trading because it isn't my setup. You know, it's that simple. It's that difficult, and it's that hard. I say it's simple because I've been beaten back, left, right, and center all the time for not waiting. Garrick says you made about 3,000 pips this year if you sold the euro dollar at 1.10. Yeah. And you're probably going to make those 3,000 back if you buy them next year. Point being, for me, don't be a volatility junkie, but be a probability junkie. Where's your highest probability? And be ruthless about where your entries are, because it is more difficult to fight your losses than to fight your profits. Your approach, you have learned it from somewhere. Somebody said that was profitable to do. Have you made it yourself? Have you made it your own? Are you able to do it? John SS says, what's your exit strategy? I have a fantastic exit strategy that nobody seems to understand, but here we go. I will tell you. I have something called pivot points. Pivot points are averages of the previous period, generally speaking. It is these green boxes, and it says M4 1 week. It's a weekly target. It is 110.84. If, as you can see here, a couple of weeks ago, the target was 110. It falls down. Last week was 109.13. It went a bit higher, a bit much more higher. Okay, but target is still M4. target still M4. Target is still M4. But even though if it rises, I do still believe that it's going to come back to a better price next week, which it generally does in most cases, comes back. So for me, it's not necessarily the hard high. It's you should probably be out by then. That's probably the volatility event you were looking for, and then you start looking for the pullbacks, and then look for the reversals. Anyways, what it actually is, it's the weighted average target given the volatility in a sequence of trades where the fundamental of it is that it's a trending tool and it doesn't work in a ranging market. Did you check in the live trade? I'm searching for it, sir. I'm searching for it. Jesus says some of your videos that you explain the pivot point strategy that are excellent, by the way. Those have helped you a lot. Very much welcome. Thank you very much, Jesus, for appreciating the work. I don't expect you guys to understand it. It takes time, probably a couple months before you're like, okay, because it's not always. You need to be right about the direction has to be right, and stuff like that. But if I go through euro dollar, you can see here on Aussie that was the target last week, target the week before that, target the week before that. That one smashed it. That one was the target the week before that. And of course, there's weeks that it goes much deeper pullback, but that you understand that because we have had quite some pullback already. It's not that it takes away the deeper pullbacks, which you should be aware of anyways, but it helps you to get out at least. And Brata, I just commented it. I literally just comment on your message. What do you mean? If somebody says I do ignore somebody and then I do comment about it, I get a bit aggressive. Aggressiveness is good because this market is not going to be good anytime soon. So, where am I? Where are we? What is going on? How long have you been talking now? Too many times? Too many hours? Yeah, that's all right. Fair enough. Great. Doesn't matter. 48 minutes. Okay, cool. So, now, if there's somebody left here in this live, let's go down to the details. Okay? I hope this is going to help somebody today. Okay? You ready? Just gonna have some coffee. Okay. There is a free version, John. Yes, there is a free version. If you search for Eivindfx pivot points, you're going to find that in the comment section and in the description of that video. Free, yes. Cool. Right now, the reason why I say we are range bound, low volatility coming into Christmas, because market participants leave for Christmas. That's just a normal money flow or a lack of money flow. What you're going to do then is you have a choice to be a trader or a being an investor, a being an analyst. What I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks on in the VIP group, in the mentorship group, we're going to plan for next year. We are going to go through the upsides and downsides. We're going to go through where's the best setups and where is the pits that we that we are that we have in our trading. You probably need to redo your stop loss strategy this year for next year in terms of volatility. Adjust that. Go through trades that you had taken. Are they close? Where your stop loss was that appropriate? There's a lot of analysis to be done. How was 2023? What can you learn from that? I lack trading plans from you guys. I lack trading history. I ask for it every single time that we have a meeting because I want to see that you're developing. I want to see that if you have $100,000 loss, I don't care about your lot size, about your account size. I care that if you have $100 account, that you're using appropriately 0.01 lot size. And if you're losing one lot size, $100 account, you're out. There is seasonality. There is behaviors that would make dollar go bearish from today going forward until kind of end of December. Generally speaking, we tend to peak around 1st of January, peak end of the year. New Year's is generally a peak. I don't know if that's going to be this year. I need to do my research on it. I need to make my decision on it. I need to evaluate some data first before I can say, hey, this is what we're going to do. You need to work on your foresight. There is trading view that says, okay, let's do a replay and say, let's say that for Christmas this year, you're going to replay a euro dollar for this year. Would you trade differently? And I don't trade differently from my replays. I become sucked in. And one of the things that is important to note is, what about these pullbacks? Have a plan for it. Yes, I have seen people in this group selling, in this same situation, not necessarily that price, and that but sold here, and they hit stop losses here, and they're coming to me and they say, Eivind, what am I doing wrong? And I tell you, you're too aggressive. And how do you know you're too aggressive? How do you know in your trading that you are about to be smacked in the head? And then we can go back to Garrick and say, hey, find tops and bottoms and whatever, right? Because we've already moved at that point, give or take 400 pips, you should expect deeper pullbacks by 300. My apologies. You have to expect deeper pullbacks. And how do you trade deeper pullbacks while being bearish, while looking for bears? You're not going to sell here, 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 here. You have to start looking for the other side, which is this one, which is probably this one. You're probably going to look for this one. You're looking for the opposite side of that reach, because what we are trained to do is to look for, those pullbacks, and it is difficult to know that that's suicidal. You are not on a profitable path. And how do you know you're not a profitable path? How do you see that before you can see it? At the beginning, there was a fall in the new bearish trend. Doesn't matter. Don't bother about it. Don't bother finding it. You'll never find it. You find a new bottom and you find the pullback. Maybe up here. Maybe only 50%. Study the first pullback. Study the second pullback and leave the third pullback alone. Because that's where the new trend starts. And that's where we are here. Sorry. Yeah, that pullback there is could have been a bullish trend by all intents and purposes, but it wasn't. And how can you as a trader know that, well, we should probably sell it? You look for that break of that previous high or low. Now that requires a lot of practice. That requires a lot of things, right? There is election year coming forward now. You have to be knowing what happens in election years. I'm not going to tell you that here. You have to do the research. And by the way, in a group of people that pays money, 20 people buys, let's say, spend $1,000 on a course or something, private mentorship, whatever. Do you know how many of those 20 that comes back to me and says, Ivan, can you please review my trading plan? Can you please review my trading history? Where can I do things? Where can I improve to? Okay. Your trading plan should be looking for somewhere here. For euro dollar at the moment, should be around here. I don't think that's going to happen this time. I don't think this setup is going to come that deep. But that's where I succeed. When we have the reversal, and then it comes back up again. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do alert. If price ever comes back in January, maybe. That's a place I should look for another buy. Venus says it's a solo journey. Which one of the most miserable things that I've ever done is to trade? One of the more miserable things is to trade. That's why we have YouTube. That's why I am reacting to you right now. Hi. Nice to meet you. Don't cry yet. It's going to be all right. We will work it out. You're strong. We are strong. We can do it. It just needs to. You need to be a bit, not humiliated, humble. You need to go data-based, objective-based, realistic-based, and you need to toss your emotions out the window. You can be tender to your wife, but tender to the market, it's going to slap you both ways. It's kind of like trying to kick a grading bucket, you know? What about dollar yen? Because I did a haircut, right? And for those who has kicked a grading bucket before, it hurts. All right? So, instead of kicking the grading bucket, you sit inside and control the machine instead. I'm here, dollar yen. People ask for dollar yen, please. What do we do here? From them to you says, I have an exit strategy issue. I have a simple solution for you. Learn pivot points. Or you can ask me every single week, Ivan, what is the target for this week? Buyers or bears on assets, and I will tell you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I can't guarantee you that's the price that the market is going to go to that price. I'm just going to say, if price comes there, if that's your direction, if your analysis is correct, if the market agrees with you, that's probably around that price you probably think about exiting. So dollar yen. I think this is a pullback to sell again. Dollar yen has fallen tremendously a lot of pips and probably going to continue that. I think market just waiting for a pullback. Yen is weak. Dollar is weak. Yen is weaker. I don't believe that this one is going to go much higher. Well, it can also much higher. I mean, 146. It's going down to 143. I personally would still, and then by the way, this is the market, okay? What is happening here? Are we going to sell there? Are we going to sell there? Are we going to sell there? No, that's what I told you 5 minutes ago. I said, wait for the lower low, wait for the return around, and if this is the price that's going to be the highest, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are not going to sell the current, sell the current price for that matter. That's not my point. But if you're going to learn my way of doing it, I would never do that. So it's up to you if you want to do it. I'm not going to do anything with you. Ivan, in forex factory, Bank of Japan monetary statement always is tentative on schedule. Does this mean it can be postponed to the next day, or does just don't want to disclose? No, not really. It comes from the source. Bank of Japan does not always deliver on time. I have seen statements being published, was it 30 minutes late or 30 minutes early? I don't know what it's called even. Off the time. You would find that what they have agreed upon is leaked to the Nikkei newspaper. I can't remember, Nikkei Today or something in that direction. So the news is already out there by the time the statement is published. So it's in retrospective, it's okay to read that report, but it's more important to watch the news if there's a Bank of Japan statement more than anything else. And I think that it's like they are supposed. Tentative means like they're supposed to. God willing, hopefully. Which is very weird by the Japanese, to be honest. They're very on time. So the new Bank of Japan Governor Ueda is a bit of a colorful character, I'll have to say it myself. Bro, welcome. Boom. How are you? Can you look at British pound, New Zealand? I am going to go to those weird ones now. Okay, cool. Whatever. And if I get a range here, bro, I'm leaving. Who was it? I'll find you. Jesus, it's a range. Why are you giving me ranges to look at? It doesn't matter. It doesn't move. Give me something else. It's like giving me sand instead of ice cream. Ja, gör det. Jag gör det. We need to see evidence. You guys need to be more serious about your trading, bruv. Come on. Jesus, I know. I love you, Jesus. Don't worry. What I mean is, this isn't the. So when you look at markets, okay, let me go basic here for you guys. Okay, when I look at markets, I want to see something like this. And if I don't see that, if I don't see that or that or that, it doesn't matter. Because if I do the same, which is kind of the same thing here, by the way, I don't care. Like it you're not getting a reaction out of me. I didn't say the other word. There's no value there. Okay, so Australian dollar, Euro dollar, pound dollar, New Zealand dollar is currently having red candles. Yay! I'll wait for the pullbacks. I'll wait for London open tomorrow. Are you gonna be live tomorrow morning? I don't know, maybe. We'll see. I want this to fall hard, fast, and long so I can buy it at a better price. Okay? Tim, what about why? Just normal news. I use financial juice for Squawk. Just any Squawk would do it. There's no particularly specific, but Nikkei news. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, I guess it's in English. Some of these Japanese news sites are in Japanese, so it's. I don't speak Japanese at this point in life. Art Life, I love you. You're so funny. Somebody said I have ADHD. I have never been told by a doctor that I have. But hey, good coffee does work. And all I promote is do your bloody research. Don't actually enter trade just because I said you so. Get your reasoning, get your probabilities, get your profitability up and running, and backtest the life out of the charts. Don't you dare do anything out of knowledge. Don't you dare doing anything dumb in my class. I'm gonna sit on you until you only do smart things, right? And if I can put everyone here in my room here, in my office, we will do so. Until I will look at your trades like a crazy person, until you're like, okay, Ivan will not be crazy if I just do my job correctly. And if you tell me the fundamental reasons, the technical reasons, the sentiment reasons, the seasonality reasons for why you should be buying anything and at any point in life, then hey, there you have it. If you can tell me, and if you can put a presentation up, a PowerPoint every time you take a trade, I bet you're gonna take less trades. One, because you have to make PowerPoints. Two, you're like, maybe not. I don't have the profitability here in this market. All right, Chandler, I'm out. I'm done. Boom. I love you guys. It doesn't matter. Hit me up on Discord or VIP group or whatever you find me. Even if you call me, I'll still answer. I want you to win. I don't want you to lose. My strategy is different from yours. Probably it doesn't matter what my strategy is compared to yours. You still need to have your brain screwed on correctly. Winning, objectivity, database. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Bye.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through our daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And yes, I'm Santa and I work for A1 Trading. Don't ask any questions. Now, get lost because I have some presents to deliver. I'll see you all at Christmas.